Hi Stampers, my name is Sandy Hancock. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator and I'm coming to you from Southern California. Today is Monday, March the 24th, 2025, and I'm going to be showing you this really fun shutter fold card. It's been called a peekaboo card, a shutter card, shutter fold card, and again, this is the Secret Garden scrapbooking kit. Now I'm out of this paper, so I'm going to be making one out of another set of designer paper, but I wanted to at least show you the Secret Garden one because it's so beautiful. And you're going to be surprised to hear what I used to make this flower. I've never been able to figure out what to do with this paper. It's not that appealing to me, this particular sheet design. And I thought, ooh, I wonder if that would make a beautiful flower. And I believe it did make a beautiful flower. And I'm going to show you what I used to make it. This is part of the Secret Garden scrapbooking kit. So I just took 3 of these flowers and put them together. And then as I put them on, you'll see that I tried to, push them up a little bit. Okay, so this is cardstock from the kit. This is just DSP. The happy birthday is from Boundless Love. And then here's more DSP. And I think that goes beautifully with the front. This is cardstock. Hope you have a happy day is from my So Sincere set. Isn't that beautiful the way it opens up? Okay, there you go. It is just absolutely beautiful. Now the one I could find designer paper for. And then after I make this card, I have 3 more to show you, all out of different DSPs. Okay, so here again, the flower is so beautiful. Now I'm using Cherry Cobbler to go with this Regal Winter designer paper, which this was one of my favorite designs. So the back of this paper is this. Actually, some of it had blue on the back and some had red. And this particular part had red on the back, which just made me so happy. Okay, so Sending You a Big Hug is from Hugs for Love, which is in the current spring catalog. Okay, so it's a really fun card. It's not hard to make, but I'm going to show you the pieces that I've got cut out here. So let's look at the front of the card first. So the front of the card is going to start out with an 8.5 by 5.5 sheet of cardstock. Just regular cardstock is fine because you've got a lot of layers here. We don't really need the extra thick. Then we need 2 front panels that are 1 7/8 by 5 1/4. Okay, times 2. Then we need those flowers again, and I've already gone ahead. I'm going to show you. See this little tiny piece right there? I'm trying really hard not to lose that. And so I went ahead and cut out a black one and put it on there because I didn't want to leave that somewhere. I was afraid I would lose it. Okay, now here you have 2 options. These are from the Textured Notes dies. This is the 5th to the smallest to the largest. This is the 4th smallest to largest. However, if you don't have those dies, then this is what you're going to cut out. 4 1/4 by 2 3/4. Here you're going to cut out 3 3/4 by 2 1/4, and you'll be fine. I want you to look again at the dies. They just add such interesting texture to the card, but again, they're not necessary. Okay, that's the front. Now, the inside is, you need a centerpiece, and that's this piece right here, okay? So the centerpiece is 5.5 by 3, that's the white cardstock. The DSP is 5 1/4 by 2 3/4. And then after you get that put together, you're going to take the next to the largest circle from Stylish Shapes or any circle that you have and cut out a center piece there. Okay, now these are the 2 inside flaps, and I'll show you what they are going to look like. They're going to look like this. They're going to go in and out like that, so we have to cut those. Okay, and then there's a circle, and I'll show you where that is. Okay, there's a circle that goes behind these shutters, just so that you can have a greeting there. And it's just, yeah, you actually could just stamp that through there, depending on how brave you are. But you literally could open up your shutter card and just stamp it. And if you feel confident with that, then just go for it. Okay. Oh, oops, did that. Okay. So, but again, then it doesn't have to be a circle. It could be a square. It could just be a piece of cardstock. It was just simple to cut it out of this. Okay. All right, so now I'm going to move the inside parts just for the moment. And I'll put them right there. And then we're going to start. Okay, so I'm going to take away the textured note dies. Put them away so they don't get lost. Not that I could ever possibly lose anything. Oh yeah. Okay, so here are my flowers. Okay, all right, so the first thing we're going to do is, you know, I guess I could do it on here. I use my scoreboard so much. I get used to using it. But 2 1/8 is what we want. So let's be careful not to cut it. Okay, 2 1/8. Ooh, I hope I didn't do. Okay, ooh boy, I almost cut that. Scary. All right, so then we're gonna just fold this. Make sure your edges are nice and even. And then instead of scoring the second side, I find it's a lot easier to just fold this over. That's why the regular cardstock works a lot better than the extra thick, because you can just do that. And then you've got your front piece ready to go. Okay, so now I'm just going to take the panels and I'm going to add them to the front. And I don't really have, yikes, I guess I don't really have, I think that might be more of a right way. I even cut these out side by side, but oh well, I don't think it really makes that much difference. Which way looks prettier? I think this way actually looks prettier. Okay, so let's add that. Okay, that looks pretty good. Okay, there we go. And then, okay, I think the next thing we'll do is put our flower together. So I'm going to take some, these are old ones. The glue dots are on the underneath side. I really like the ones that have the glue dots on the top myself. But anyway, here we go. So I'm going to just fold this up a little bit and I'm going to put it right. Let's see, which way is this going to go? Maybe that way. Okay, then we'll just take a couple more glue dots. Put it on here. Yeah, I initially was going to use the back side of this paper for the flower, but woo, it was way, way, way too busy. So no thanks for that. Okay. Is this where we're going? Okay, how are we going? I guess we're doing it this way. Okay, then we'll put this here. And I'm just gonna lift this up a little bit to see if I can make it look a little bit more interesting. Of course, it might get flattened down again when you mail it, but anyway, I'm gonna do that. So that's gonna sit basically about there. Then I'm gonna go ahead and stamp Happy Birthday on there. And you know, when my black pad sits for a while, I really like to just test it out. See if I need to, see if it's gonna be okay. Oh yeah, okay, that looks good. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead, because there's black in here, I didn't think we needed any more cherry cobbler on here. So black is a really nice alternative there. Okay, so there's our Happy Birthday. And then I think I could just put some adhesive in the center here. I'm just not gonna put it out to the edges. There we go. Okay. And then I'm going to set this aside for a minute. Then I'm going to take this, I'm going to flip it over. Okay, so this is going to go here. And so you want your dimensionals to go along the edge and then just a little bit in. Be careful, you can't put them in the center or it's going to show when you open the card. So let's just flip it down like that. And I'm not usually very generous with my with my dimensionals. However, today I'm going to be rather generous. And so you can see I'm putting them pretty close to the first line of them because I'm just gonna put this right into the trash. I'm going to try to. Yeah, I really want this to be on there nicely. And so I'm just going to pop these right into the trash, which sits faithfully by my side. Okay, almost. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and just put this on. Get it nice and centered. I think that's about good. Okay, so now when we open it, you see they don't show. Okay, that is. All right. And then I'm just going to leave, add that at the last minute. Okay, now inside, first thing we want to do, now you're not going to be able to see this, I'm so sorry. I'm going to pull this down to the bottom of my glass mat, and I'm just going to simply mark 2 1/8 with a tiny little pencil mark, and then I'll show you what I did. And then I'm going to turn it the other way, and I'm going to do the very same thing, 2 1/8. Okay, see how tiny these pencil marks are? You can hardly see them. And then I've got a really good eraser I can erase them with. Okay, so now let's get out the rest of the things we need here. Okay, so now, okay, we're going to take, I'm going to need that again in a minute. Okay, I'm going to take this, go ahead, put it on my centerpiece. We're going to be finished with this before you can even believe it. So again, it's not hard to do. You just need to get your pieces cut out ahead of time. All right, so now I'm just going to try to get this kind of in the center. It doesn't have to be exact at all. It could be up a little higher if you didn't want it right in the center. And then I'm just going to go cut this out. And the 2 layers will cut out very easily. Yeah, you can hear my electric machine working for me. Yeah, it's just too hard on my back to do anything manually. Okay, so here we go. Now we've got this piece. Okay, I'm going to put it away so it doesn't get lost. And then watch what I'm going to do now. I'm going to put dimensionals right at the very bottom. I'm going to put 3 of them right at the very bottom. Oops, don't need 2 right here. And then I'm going to turn it around. It doesn't even matter which is the bottom and which is the top. I'm going to put 3 of them. You don't really want them up away from the end because you don't want the sliders as they go in and out to hit the dimensionals. Okay, so let's see. I guess we'll do it this way. Okay, oh, I can already tell you what I forgot to do. I need to mark, I might need to move this because I need to mark the center of these also, and you'll see why this is important. It just makes your card go together so much more easily. Okay, well that didn't go well. Let me mark it and then I can add it again. Okay, so this is, how much did I say this is? 3 inches. Okay, so again, you can't see me. I'm sorry. I'm going to mark it at 1 1/2. Of course, it's going to be right in the middle of that glue dot. I mean, dimensional. Okay. Oh, I did that on the, hello, you need to do it on the front. So I'm going to make a little tiny mark on the front at 1 1/2 and on the back. I'm sorry you can't see this, but my glass mat. Okay, there we go. I can't tell which side is, I guess I got it pretty much right in the center. Okay, so now here's the reason you need that marked. You don't really know where to go here, and you actually do want it in the center. I think I'm going to go that way. Okay, so I'm going to let this be the bottom. And you want to line this up right in the center, just like that. Okay, and do not undo, don't fasten these down. Okay, now if you've got one of these really good erasers, you get them at a school supply, then you can go ahead and just erase your little mark there. Okay, good as new. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we need to cut our little flutter pieces, shutter pieces. They're 4 by 3 1/2. Okay, so see, we're almost done. We just have to put a couple more things together here. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do, now you're going to need your, okay, 3.5 inches by 4. So we need the 3.5 inch part going up across the top of this. So it's going east and west. And you're going to score this. Are you kidding me? My score blade came out. Unbelievable. Okay, well, fine, no problem. I'll just take my stylus. I don't know what happened to it. I was just using it. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and score my second one also. They're going to be done exactly the same way. Isn't this something funny? Okay, so now I'm going to flip them over. You want to go to the back side. And okay, now remember, this is 3 3/4. So, I mean, it's 3 1/4. So half of that is 1 3/4. I hope I'm not confusing you here. Okay, so you're just taking half of that length. And now this one, remember, is 4 inches. And so half of that is going to be 2 inches. Okay, so now, I don't know if you can see that very well. I'm just marking the center of the card. So now what we're going to do is we're going to cut from the center out to the 4-inch edges, like that. Okay, don't cut this way. You're going to cut towards the 4-inch. This is really important because I did mess it up one time and I cut the other way and I went, oh, phooey. Oh, here's my blade right here. Hello. You just popped right. I don't even know how to pop it back in. Okay, I won't worry about it right now. Okay, so let me just show you how to do this one and then we'll go and do the next one. So I'm going to put the points right on the line right here. Whatever you call that little line. I know it has a name. And so I'm going to be pulling from the center out to the corner. And so I'm just going to kind of judge. Oh, I think it starts about right there. And pull it out. Hey, oh, I was really good on that one. Okay, let's see how well I do on this one. Okay, so once again, I've got my corners right into the little trough, whatever you want to call that. And I'm just going to pull it. Oh my gosh, that's the best I've ever done. Woo! Okay, so we're actually going to be using this size. That's why you don't have to go back and erase the pencil mark. Okay, we're going to be using this side. Okay, so now we're going to do it again. So watch carefully. So this one is the 3 and, oh, I've been saying it wrong. This is 3.5. I did it right. Okay, so 3.5. Half of that is 1 3/4. And we're just going to go right here and mark it. And then we're going to go to the 2 inches, which is half of the 4-inch side. And once again, we're going to mark the center. Okay, now remember, we're cutting from the center out to the 4-inch point. Okay. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to see how well I can do this time. Okay, there's that one. Oh my goodness. Oh, this is the best I've ever done, you guys. Wow. And if it's not exactly right, it's not going to be the death of the card. Oh gosh. Wow, this is so good. Ooh, I'm really impressed. Okay. All right, so now we just want to fold the score line. Let's see, wait, this is the front. Okay. We are going to score it. So you're going to, I think that's the way we want it. We'll see in a minute. I think we're going to fold into the good side away from the penciled side. Okay, now let me show you how this is going to go in here. First of all, okay, so we're going to, believe it or not, you're going to put adhesive right on the front. So let's just go ahead, put our adhesive right on the front piece. Now, this is going to stick under here, and you can just kind of see where you know, kind of center it. And just do the best you can. It does not have to be an exact art. Okay, so here I have it down. I'm just going to fold this over like that. And voila. Let's try, get a little bit of that off. Okay, see how we're doing? Okay, so now again, the adhesive goes on the front, that 1/2 inch piece. And we're going to now just, see, the reason you don't want this down is because you have to match. I'm going to lift this up a little bit, and I'm just going to see where that matches. Okay, where's my, can't even see my, here we go. Now let's see if this is still matching. Not exactly. Okay, do you see what I'm doing? It's so simple. Just kind of line it up there like that. think that's lined up pretty well. Okay, then I'm just gonna, that looks a little crooked to me. Hello. I think we're, okay. Now I'm just gonna fold this over and here we go. Okay, let me just, so I'm gonna press this down again. Okay, so now we have our little shutter windows all ready to go. Now all we need is the piece in the center, and seriously, I think I could just stamp this through there and I would be just fine. So if you're feeling really confident about it, go for it. And I'm just gonna show you what to do in case you don't feel confident, or sometimes maybe you don't have quite enough room to not hit something here and you would prefer to stamp on something else. So if you feel confident, just go ahead and stamp right in the center. Again, this is from Hugs for Love. Okay, that looks fine. So I'm just gonna put it right in the center here. Sending you a big hug. Love it. Now, I'm going to add adhesive to the back because this is going to need to stick down. So let me show you what I'm going to do. I'm just going to kind of put my finger right there and push it under. Can you see what I'm doing? It's a little dark. There we go. Okay, I'm going to push it down. I'm going to try to get it straight. And then just press around the outside. Okay, there we go. Now all I have to do is come up here, remove the dimension. Oh, I never put a third one on there. I think it's okay. We'll just have two on the top. Okay, here we go. So the inside is done. Beautiful. All right, so now we'll just go back and add this piece. And I know this looks weird. I'm gonna add it here instead of on the back of this, because sometimes, every once in a while, when I turn this over on my mat, it picks up color from my mat. Okay, now how hard was that? Not very hard. Wouldn't this be a fun card to get? And then you would just write on the back. Okay, so there is card number 1. Okay, now you've already seen card number 2. This is Secret Garden. Hope your day is a happy one from So Sincere. All right, now this one is from Mixed Media Florals, and we're going to be using Poppy Parade. Hope your day is a happy one. Isn't this gorgeous paper? I absolutely love it. Okay, Poppy Parade, and I love this DSP. Okay, then I decided to try the Lovely Garden, which I also love. I've used almost every sheet of paper in there. And I did the flower out of this, which I thought turned out really pretty. I wasn't sure how it was going to turn out, but after I did it, I went, oh, that was good. Okay, now let me just tell you this. This is just the DSP. It's a little bit, you know, flimsy. So I did mount it on white cardstock before I did the cutting. Okay, I just didn't think that the DSP by itself was going to be thick enough to go back and forth nicely. Okay, so there is that one. And you notice I haven't really put any extra embellishments on these. I don't know where to put them. So I'm pretty happy with them just how they are. Okay, now this is the one that I made. I don't know if you remember. If you've been around for a while, you're going to remember this lighthouse. And there's a little rhinestone there. So this is the one I found in my stash. And I went, oh my word, I have not made this in such a long time. There's nothing little about the light you shine. And if you notice here, I used an oval. We don't really have an active oval right now that I'm aware of, but the oval, now see, I would never have stamped this through the window. I would be afraid I would get something off on the cardstock. And so that's when you really need to slip a piece underneath there. Okay, so there you go. Let me see, can you see all of these? I think you can. So if you want to just take a picture of all of them, I'm sure you have some DSP that is going to be absolutely loverly as you make this card. And so thank you so much for joining me. I hope you just have a lot of fun making it. Get your pieces cut and then it just goes together so quickly. So I'll look forward to having you next time.